What's going on, guys? It's your boy Kev here, back with another video. Tonight we're going over some NBA prize picks. You guys know I like to start the week off this way every single week, so let's get right into it, guys. Just watch some great football. When I bring this up, guys, I know a lot of you know what it is, but if not, if you're new to the channel, new to prize picks, let me give you a little rundown of what we're looking at here. So prize picks, essentially, guys, is a daily fantasy sports platform where you can, instead of picking players, you pick the overs and unders on projections of players. So as you see here, we got Vooch at 43. You can either hammer the over of 43 or under on 43, depending on how you think he's going to do. And you pair that with another player. So you can pair it with Julius Randle. You can pair it with Aaron Gordon 2, 3, 4, or 5 times. Obviously, the more risk, the more reward. And obviously, it's harder to hit a 5-player parlay than a 2. But you can also go between sports, which is cool. So you can go, I'm taking the over on Vooch at 43. I switch over to NHL. I'll take the under on Oliver at 3 points. So you can mix and match. I think that's probably the coolest aspect of this. I love mixing NFL and MMA all the time. So that's really awesome. If you do sign up for Prize Picks and you are new to it, please use code DGF. It really does help us out, helps the channel. So we all really appreciate that if you do. And if you do end up, joining and depositing, I would suggest depositing $100 your first time. And I always say this every video. I don't get paid for saying that. That doesn't help me, but I like helping you guys out. And Prize Picks actually matches your first deposit up to $100. So that's why I say do the full 100, just so you can get the full benefit of what they offered. I mean, that's what I do every time. Any, organization like that, Draftkings, FanDuel does any, promotion like that. I just like to get as much free money as possible. So yeah, if you do that, definitely deposit and get your money's worth. So let's get right into the prize picks, guys. This is an interesting slate, I'll tell you right now. They always add some more, but I like to start off with just the 8, so I give you guys an early look, and then you can mix and match the other ones yourselves, just so I give you guys a good starting point. I'll tell you right now, this is a rough looking slate. There's probably 3 guys on the slate I like, and then the other 5 are just up in the air. And I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you the ones I like. Don't worry, I won't leave you just at that. But let's get right into it. We got Vooch first. Vucevic is at 43 points. Honestly, guys, I do like the over on this. Is a super favorable matchup. Close to the line, but slight over here. I mean, I'm taking this very slight over at 43. He's been over 43 7 of his last 10 games. The continued absence of a ton of guys on the Magic help his production a lot. Obviously, he's a very good player and doesn't necessarily, need that, but it does help him. So I will take the slight over, especially on a slate. Like I said, there are some harder picks. So yeah, I would take the over there. Julius Randle, I think, is an easier over. I mean, Burks is still banged up and is a game time decision. But I think, even with that, even with Alex injured or not injured, I mean, I just think he's going to be fine either way. It really shouldn't matter. So love the over here at 44. The Magic, as we just talked about, are a bottom 5 defense against power forwards. And Julius Randle has cleared 44 points in 6 of his last 8 games. And in one of those 2 games that he missed, he just missed by like 0.08 or 0.8 rather. So he's been right around that all year. He's been very consistent. So I do like the over for Julius Randle. Let's move on to another player from that game. I mean, these first 4 games, guys, I can't get away from this game. So it's going to be a lot of Orlando and New York action. But so yeah, we got Aaron Gordon at 34. I'm going to avoid Aaron Gordon at 34. I mean, gun to my head, I would take under here, but 34 isn't hard to get to. It really isn't that hard to get to, and he's always around that mark. It is a bottom 3 defense. I would smash the under on this if it wasn't, such a bad defense he's playing against too. And like I said, I mean, there's people banged up on that team, have been all year, so he's still going to get his opportunities. So at 34, I am a little worried about that, and I will avoid it. Moving on to RJ Barrett, super similar situation. Can't get away from this New York and Orlando game. I like the first 2. I like the studs on the over. I don't like these mid-level players and the under. So I'm going to avoid here for similar reasons to Gordon for Barrett. Far too accurate and just dances around that projection all year long. So I will be avoiding Barrett as well. Moving on to Cat, Karl Anthony Towns. Glad to see him back, but like I said, guys, this is rough. This is an interesting slate. I think Prize Picks nailed this one. It's tough, and I just don't like a lot of players they chose, to be honest. It's just like it's like a culmination of all the ones I hate to see on the Prize Picks board. I mean, I hate when I see Trae Young. I hate when I see, there's just so many ones that I just avoid. If Gordon Hayward was on here, I would just be losing my mind too. But so yeah, I would avoid Cat. I mean, that is one, if you believe he's back, looking great, you could take the over, but he's great, but it's just last year, I mean, he wasn't a consistent 51-point scorer. I mean, that's just a lot of points to ask for. He has been within 3 points of that 51 mark all of his 4 games. So all 4 games that he's been back since obviously being out most of the year so far, he's been within 3 points of that mark. So that's just way too accurate. And out of those 4 games, 2 games have been over. He's crushed over, and then, or not crushed over, but gotten over. And then 2 games have been under. So it's just way too dead on the spot. So I will be avoiding Cat for that reason. Young, I'm going to avoid just for a different reason. He's fluky as hell, man. I mean, it's just, I can't. Like I said, I hope they add some more players, which they will, but I'm going to avoid Young for sure. He is so friggin' fluky. I mean, he just makes no sense to me. He's gotten over 40 points in 3 of his last 6 games, which sounds nice, and it means he's cleared that projection in half of his last 6 games. That being said, he's gotten under 30 points, not 40, under 30 points in the other 3 games. So he's just so fluky. You don't know what you're going to expect from him, what you're going to get from him, or what to expect and what you're going to get. So I would just avoid him at all costs. I don't like seeing him on slates. Looking at Grant here at 35, I think this is the most obvious pick on the slate, to be honest. I do like Randall. If I had to pick an order, I would go Grant, Randall, Vooch. I do think Grant's the most obvious one on the slate here. Grant bet on himself in the offseason. I know a lot of you guys know during free agency, and the bet is really paying off. Crushing it this year, absolutely crushing it. Since game 1 this year, he's cleared that 35-point projection 8 of his 11 games since game 1. Absolutely love to see that. So 8 out of 11 times. And when he missed that mark, he missed it within 5 points every single time. So he is playing at a consistently high level. I really like how he's doing this year, and I think that's a very smart overpick here. I mean, anything can happen. It's basketball. I don't care, whether he falls short of that or not. This is probably the smartest on paper pick on the slate that I've seen, is hammering the over on Grant right now. That leads us to our last one, and not to leave you guys with another one that's just tough to deal with, but DeMar DeRozan. I mean, I love him. I'm a big DeRozan guy, but he's hit over the last 3 or 4, which is a little bit encouraging, I guess. But on the year, he's still close to it. I'll leave this one up to you guys. I mean, if you're going to buy that recency bias, the fact that a couple Spurs are still banged up and out, but it's not enough to really, I think, affect his production in a positive or negative way. And to be honest, at that projection, it's just, I'd rather avoid it. I mean, sometimes it's a slate that dictates what you want to pick, guys. I'll tell you that. Like, you don't have to pick 5. Even if you like picking 5 or you like picking whatever, if there's 3 obvious ones on there, or 2 obvious ones, I mean, you got to adjust a little bit here. Or, like I said, start looking at other sports. I mean, maybe you really like Randall, you really like Grant, and, but you can't find anything else on NBA. Do a little homework, see if you find something you like for NHL, because all you need one more to add to that, and see if it works out there. Just, that's the beauty of Prize Picks, that you can do that. But those are mine on the slate, guys. Just to recap real quick. Going to avoid DeMar. Grant, absolutely love. Going to smash the over. Young, I am going to avoid like he's on fire. Cat, I'm going to avoid, but that is one I think you could take if you wanted to. I'm not going to avoid that like I would Young. Barrett, I'm going to avoid pretty hard. Gordon, I'm going to avoid. Like I said, you could take the slight under on that. You could hope. That one I could see happening. And then I'm going to take the over on Julius and over on Vooch. So that's the video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell. Thank goodness MMA's back. We had a really good time watching the fights, talking in Discord. It felt like old hat. I just missed that for the last month where there hasn't been any fights. NFL. Playoff football. I mean, we got 4 teams left, so this is really heating up, guys. Sports are at an all-time high right now. Absolutely loving it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, let's cash.